Good morning, Roundtablers, and welcome to the Monday edition of the Roundtable. My name, Nathan, and my co-host today is the amazing Callie. And joining us this morning is a guest. We can't call you a guest no more, right?
Yeah, you've been here. You're part of this thing.
No, man. Don't guess.
Okay,
about the guest.
Okay, we don't have to guess about the guest. You know actor Rodney Campbell is in the building. Yeah.
I are the one.
That's it. Welcome.
Yeah, man.
Welcome,
See them on the fair me soon and just all right. That's soon go
on the contract.
Yeah.
But you know what? Let us get right into the social buzz for this morning, guys. Let's see what's happening.
Guys, we are at
Treasure Beach in St. Elizabeth.
We're giving out our final packages now.
Yeah.
We're about to head to the square soon.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hi. Hi. Of course, thank you so much for having me. We have now. Hi.
You were there, we had fun from morning, you know?
Oh, I'm there now. Where you want?
Jack Shop. Yeah, you're sweet naturally too, you know? Why you sweet?
Thank you.
Have life. Not these life.
Why doesn't need? I'm to the room. Gone. Here. Them one, two, one.
Well, considering the times and considering what we've been through, it's good to see them giving back. But, we were kind of watching the video and discussing, in this day and age, is good happening without us seeing it? Or do you need to show everybody, the world, that I am giving back?
I never know. See, I got to load up the conversation.
No, but they have to load up the conversation.
I think unfortunately we've put ourselves in a position where if it's not seen, people say it's not done.
Right.
And then when people don't see it, they start to curse and say,
What happened?
so what happened to Tom? What happened to Harry? So it's almost as if you need to do it. What I want to say to corporate Jamaica is, yes, we know you like that, and it's good for you to associate yourself with these brands. But in all these communities, take St. Elizabeth, for example, there are lots of people in there who have been doing the work since Wednesday, since Thursday.
And have zero recognition.
And you're going to pass them anyway.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not always the hero at the front, carrying the crew, that is always the win.
Yeah.
Look, just don't make it always be about what's shown.
What's shown.
You know?
Sometimes it makes me wonder if we lose the heart of giving and loving because we have to have it zoomed in and, on our social, I don't know.
And by
I
the
don't know
way,
how I feel.
I'm going to try and get up this morning and talk about how we sit down here. I fight against people, I do good to people.
No, I don't think nobody has said that.
No,
Oh, you mean we sit down there?
Because the truth is, at the end of the day,
this is
we
the
know
same social media argument we're talking about.
People are going to talk,
Where
but
people
the number
hear
I can say
10
is...
seconds of something and say, I doubt them say.
But you're right, listen one
What
thing
is the
though,
round
Rodney,
table?
No, but you're right, listen one thing though. The fact is, people were doing this work before. I'm
Right.
glad to see other people doing the work to try and help out, and I think that's what we should take
More
from this.
hands.
More hands.
Right.
There's a lot of damage, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of hurt. More hands. Anything you can do, please.
Yeah.
There's a lot of causes out there right now, especially with what has happened in our country. Let's try our very best to give back from what we can give, especially those who never got the kind of damage and the kind of destruction that others have faced in this country. And that was a storm of two different experiences. Some got rain and wind and could run around and dance, while others lost.
And Nate, I will say this,
life.
a caring hand is as valuable as a bag of groceries to a man who's looking up and seeing him roof gone.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not what you bring to people, it's what you give to people. Sometimes, you know, people just need to know.
The hope somebody cares.
Yeah, that's all that matters, you know.
Yeah,
so
100%.
let's not believe that it's always about the provision of something material. A kind word
Yeah, man.
lifts our spirit.
It does. It does.
Any
So
day.
it should always be our brother's keeper. And as we say, the storm is gone, but we can continue on.
Amen.
So up next, we have the bag of things. Let's jump it.
I got things.
What? So I don't know what is on the screen here, but this is not quite a bag of things. This is a topic that we were to mention. But listen, we were backstage today and we were discussing regarding the storm. Some of us were gallivanting and enjoying the well, we weren't enjoying the weather, but some had it a little less difficult than others. Some people experienced many things. And so there was a video that went viral with somebody celebrating being able to jump on a plane and get out of the storm and move over to Florida. So we're talking backstage. How much consideration do we give? Are people still allowed to be grateful for being saved from the worst? Or are we to always be conscientious and very mourn with those who mourn, type of solemn? You know, is there a place for celebration? We've been seeing all over social media, people have been celebrating in the storms, party a keep, people out in the rain. You know, I'm even guilty of posting me and my girls because I was just so happy to be in the rain. And then I got, you know, people are just like, how can you be celebrating out by your gate in the rain when people are, you know, close to losing their lives?
So
how do we feel about that? That is my bag of things this morning.
I'll give a simple answer. I'll use a biblical reference. There's a time and place for everything under the sun. And I think one of the things that social media is causing us to not have anymore is a consciousness of how to communicate and how to share. I think now because we have an instant share culture, we've almost ended in this notion that we can share at any point in any way we so choose because it's easy access. But I think the same way in which we treated information when it was the dark ages, the stone ages, the information age that we now live in, there's always going to be something that you have to have in the back of your mind to say.
So we need to be conscientious even in that.
If you're not using
you have to remember, social media makes us celebrate anything and everything. And in this celebration, we're hyped. If we just do little things, we get 10,000 likes. With the big things, so the truth is, there are people who were out in the rain. 10 kids I passed on Old Harbour Road doing hurricane coverage with winds. We have shake a vehicle. Them walking with a football. I'm going to say, yo, that's a big thing for them. They must celebrate. And they brag about we're bigger than the hurricane. There's somebody else bragging about a jet behind them. There are people bragging about being able to party with Hennessy. But I understand it's that 20-year-old era. It's that, don't limit it to 20. But I'm saying,
social media.
Some of the time we have to understand something. Maybe it is that the very same things that we are cussing now are the very same things yesterday without a hurricane we'd celebrate with the very same language. So
I think so.
Consciousness is the most.
I agree. Well, you know, I see something hot coming, so let's see what's
more hot coming today.
Well, I mean, we've been
on them spicy topics from this morning.
Wow. I mean, let's see what we have for the folks today.
It's summer.
Maybe it's the time for me to call.
No, seriously.
Well, I think you love this one. Navigating the storms of life. The various relationships or the various ships.
Some relations.
Boy, you know it go. So navigating the storms of life. So what are the ships we're talking about? Because I think we can frame it. So in my mind, when I hear the word ships, relationships, I'm thinking marriage.
All right, cool.
So
our dating.
Intimate relationship.
All right.
Friendship, platonic friendship. And then I also think of business ship. So entrepreneurship.
Workship.
Right?
Yeah, man.
So for me, when they talk about navigating the storms, automatically you start to think about what are some of the travails and travels that you have now faced in those various ships as you've gone through life, and how have you navigated going through that? Because automatically one of the things that come to my mind, especially with friendships, friendships are always based, when you get close with friends, you're always at the same place. It's either you went to the same school, you studied the same thing, you played a sport together, and then that you will transition at some point. How do you navigate the storm of friendship changing? Bradley?
Well, the truth is, ship or ships, perfect terminology, right? And we can divide the ship and into boat, raft, cruiser.
I like it.
Yacht.
I like it.
You know, say canoe.
I like it.
Oh, yeah, canoe.
Jeez, man.
Because
I like it.
ships, by variety, traverse waters. And as you said, navigate. There is no difference with the journey from Port Royal to Lime Key than there would be across the Atlantic. Every journey that you're going on is going to have the smooth seas, the rough seas, the unexpected, because no matter how well you have learned the science, that's a bigger thing to you. Unexpected rough seas. Sometimes you turn over, capsize. People get lost at sea. And we can go on and on. The key to life is understanding every journey you take is a learning experience. And the most important thing is the journey really never ends, but you'll never get to where you're going the same as where you left.
I love that, Rodney. You know what? I'm going to take a quick break because I want to understand how we navigate on that journey right after. Come back with us, guys.
I love that. Let me think.
Welcome back to the round table. This morning the topic is navigating the storms of life, the various ships. And we had the captain kind of give us a rundown.
The different types
of the different
of
types
ways
of ships
to get from here to Port Royal.
I might be the cook in the galley, so you can stay there.
But then, so for me, Kelly, when you hear that kind of reference, does it resonate with you that you think about the various ships that you are on, and though the journey may be the same, it really is about the kind of ship and how you navigate the seas?
I thought that was brilliant, because I'm like, if you're anchored in a ship, getting from here to Port Royal is completely different if you're on a canoe, if you're on a... And so that speaks to me, even with marriages, so the first thing that comes to me in my relationship. What have we anchored in order for us to make it, through the long haul? So we go through all the glitz and the glamour and the little sparks and the excitement, and now we come to live with the man, and we're on a year one. And we're learning that living together is interesting. So, Bruce had a conversation with me recently, because I can be a little bit of a nag, as, we're going into a different, So if him leave the clothes on the ground in the bedroom, or... So he's like, instead of just nagging me, why not just take it up? So that was a whole other conversation. He's like, because I'm picking up after you and I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
So that's what we're navigating now, deciphering for how much responsibility are you going to take, how much do I stop nagging the man about the things I think he needs to do, and what things do I take on and just say, you know what, this is, we're...
How many of you in the ship? Does your ship have a crew?
Well, yes. You're giving me advice on the other things. I'm not going on from the ship.
Are you very much
because it's easy for the two of us
yes.
to be rowing.
Right.
Because in the middle of the sea, if it's me or you alone,
yeah.
we either have the same mind, we either accepting of each other's ideas, or we decide, you know what, me not row, And the two of us just sit there and float. So
that we're trying to know. We're in one little canoe still, and where I say, sometimes the two of us row, and then sometimes me one feel like me row leap.
Yeah.
And we're,
And one of the reasons you work on these journeys is because before you take these trips, while you take these trips, and even when you reach where you're going, you prepare for a trip. You ask people who've gone on the journey so that the unexpected rocking of the boat. It's not that there's perfection going along, because there is no journey of perfection.
So do you think that this analogy that you're using there is also, does it fit well with other types of ships, like mentorship or a partnership? Because you have some things that are non-romantic, because I mean, in a mentorship, part of what you're also trying to do is to bring that same kind of balance, teaching somebody along their own journey. Because I am on that ship with you,
being taught.
I've been taught on that journey. So I look at it and I'll say, one thing I think of when you're talking is when we talk about that ship and moving together, there's also the disconnect of how you're trying to move a ship. We think we're in a canoe when we're in a cruise ship, and you're trying to row a cruise ship when it can move on its own. A lot of the journeys that I think people go through in life is also that there's a disconnect with how you're trying to move forward because you're not on the same page. You don't know what kind of ship you're in and you're now going the wrong way. So I am rowing on one side, I'm rowing in one direction, and you're also rowing in the other direction. So we're spinning in circles.
Today. Like, I mean, we're just talking.
So I mean, so like when I think of it, I'm saying going beyond the romantic, there's so much other ships.
You have to be very careful as well.
Yes.
If you're in the canoe or the small motorboat, a lot of the cruise ships that come along are the mentorships. A lot of the partnerships that come along should be parted ways with. Because two things happen. You either look at it and it's really bad for you, you know. But because it looks much like a grand affair, you go aboard and end up with the Titanic.
You jump on the cruise
At the same time, there are sometimes we don't believe that we deserve to step up because we have not suffered in the seas long enough. So we see the, no, I'm good. We see the yacht come, no, I'm good. So we need to be out there struggling so that people can say, oh, we've earned the right. The most important thing about life and relationships, no relationships are different. They're only perspective. You have to be prepared. Water is not waist high. Life will always be above you. And that's the reason why we rise and we don't try to go down. It's simple.
Yeah, and I love what you said about, for us, and you know, as giving a small example, but we couldn't do it without community, and I think that's what you're saying.
Correct.
The people who are, the mentorship,
but know your crew.
People who have done it right. So we have to choose the right people around us who are heading in the same direction as we are, who have gone the seas before us, okay?
And some people need to go
and who have come back for us. Some people need to go overboard.
Some people need to get shot.
And I'll jump on Rodney's analogy and say it this way. Because a little I remember about seafarer lifestyle. So you also have to prepare for your journey. You need a good navigator on your journey. You need, not with just the crew, but you need people who accept that my part of the journey is to be the chef, not the cook. When I need to try to navigate, I don't need to captain. I just need to make sure that everybody is fed. For any journey to work, everybody needs to work together, and you need to accept your role. Some may have dual roles.
And some people fighting for somebody else's role. How that work though later? Because if you're in charge of the round table and me come for your
but
job,
that is why the ship will
Overboard.
then imbalance and we will sink. And I think what people don't understand about life, I think this is a general thing I've seen. So I have this basic belief that all relationships are transactional. It is about the give and take. Now, if all relationships are transactional, the best type of transaction is the one where we benefit in either equal amounts or the amount that we need to get from that relationship. So if I only need 20 to make my thing work and you need 80, then we're solid because we've accepted what that transaction is.
So we're not looking for 50-50. It's just what the other person, what we need.
It's about what it is, because sometimes you're giving 50-50 when I have more than 50 to give. So when I keep back...
Knowing what is required
and that is
before you go on the journey.
Yeah.
Right? And I mean, there's an analogy I learned, and this is how it always kind of guides me. It's a breakfast analogy about the chicken and the pig. I don't remember the third. And about their contribution to breakfast.
Oh,
the chicken gives the egg.
Right.
The pig gives the bacon. They contribute to breakfast. But one is giving its life, while the other is just giving a portion of them. See me? So for me, with that, we're jumping into a quick break, guys. When we return, it's time for final thoughts, but we'll be right back, all right? Thanks for staying with us, guys. You know it's, again, time for final thoughts. I like final thoughts, so don't get me wrong. I think it's always where we can impart some wisdom. We've been talking about navigating the storms and navigating with the right kind of, going through the ships. And I think Rodney has given almost a perfect analogy that can be used. We don't need to be specific about the ships that you're through, because the general analogy you gave kind of feels like it fits everything. Even with entrepreneurship,
they're all waters.
They're all waters. And it's just about the preparation and the crew that you have.
And know what you're in.
And know what you're in.
Right?
So for me, final thoughts. You think of the storms will come.
Yeah.
How do you, even though you call it preparation, how do you know when it's a storm, and how do you know when it's just you not working that ship together? What can you give as an idea as to how we look at life with that?
I still think you're never prepared for any journey until you've completed it. That is how you know how prepared you were. You have a checklist, but what journey? Whether by air, by sea, by land, what journey is guaranteed to go exactly as you planned it? The difference is, it is better to be prepared.
Right.
But your experience can only make you understand what the rest of any journey is going to be about, right? No journey is a final port. So, by right, yes, make your preparation. Gain experience and understand the value of it as you go along. Don't ever become too complacent because you have, quote unquote, arrived, however you want to take that term. Don't believe for some reason that you cannot go any further simply because it has been one ride that nearly took your life. But also understand, if it's built to carry 10 people, if you carry 20, you might sink.
It's gonna capsize.
And just deciding to navigate it alone because you want to prove, oh, this man is an island or woman is an island. What happens when you're out there all alone? Yes, you have proven your point. You could do it until life, no matter the ships, is relations, and how you relate to life determines what the relationship becomes and what it ends up with.
Callie?
I mean, Rodney has said it all, but I think even just looking at the hurricane, we did everything in our might. Jamaicans, we did all that we thought we could have, right? We bought the generators, we made sure we had enough water stocked up, we bought the canned food, and even yet still, we didn't consider, when it all was said and done, we weren't prepared. You know, I had to go to my neighbor to get, you know, electrical cords to put an extension because the light went longer than we thought. We didn't have enough water because right now I still, you know, don't have no water and that type of thing. So for me, what I've learned is the ability to pivot well and to just be able to just be flexible and just keep it pushing. You can't stay in, you know, in this little box and this is what we've done and that is all, and you just sit back. How can we be flexible and
like that?
Yeah.
And I'll just say, life is just for living. Guys, that's it for the round table.
You're too young, bro.
No, it's the truth though. Life is just for living.
That's like Ernest Street. You're kind of young for Ernest Street still.
A special thanks to our resident, we're not calling him a resident guest actor, but the resident round table who calls himself a guest, Rodney Campbell.
I go there, you know. Bring the farm, come.
Thank you for being our guest this morning.
No problem.
And guys, have a wonderful rest of the week. Everyone, remember, be good, be on purpose, and please take care of yourself.
Yes.
Come back in one piece.
Yes.
See you guys.
Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, yeah, yeah. If you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Oh, find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need.